Hey everybody, Dr. Alex Ritza here. It's Lunch and Learn TV and it is April 23rd. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend. If you're here in Toronto, you probably were enjoying the sun, or at least I hope you were outside. So today's going to be a brief episode. At the end, I'm going to show you how to foam roll your spine and talk about the value of that. But today we're going to talk a little bit more mindset when it comes to working out. And whether you are new to the gym or a gym expert, I think this is something that a lot of people are missing. So what I think you should be doing instead of your next workout might actually be a day solely for mobility and flexibility, and here's why. So if we think about the demands that our body is under, or for the average person on a given day, usually you're sitting, you're standing at work, you're picking up the kids, you're doing groceries. Most of the problems that we get when it comes to our body often have to do with some sort of combination of core strength, maybe some sort of strength overall, especially lifting up the kids. But a big part of it is mobility and flexibility. Whether it's sitting at our desk and our hips get really, really stiff, whether it is just from being immobile, we are really, really challenged by not moving enough. And so I think we should really be dedicating not just a little bit of time every day, would be the gold standard, but maybe a day of the week where you're just working on increasing your flexibility, increasing your mobility. And with that weekly process, over time, it's going to really have a big benefit in terms of how your body moves and how your body feels. And you can imagine that if you start this process when you're, say, 25 or 30, and you've been doing a weekly session of, say, yoga or some mobility and flexibility work at home, if you can do that for a couple of decades, it's going to have a big impact on how stiff your joints are when you are 40, 50, 60 years old. And I would really recommend that you move away from the mindset of thinking about a workout being from the workout at the gym only being useful if you're there for a long time and if you've got a sweat on. I think there is nothing wrong with going for a yoga session, whether it's hot or not, or taking anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes to stretch, work on your mobility, work on your flexibility. Now, if you're looking for something to fill those 20 to 60 minutes with, we've got lots in our movement curriculum, which is a free PDF download that I'll make sure that I include on the Facebook Live video for this. Or you can always join us for our upcoming workshop this Wednesday at 6:30 at Park Road Healing Arts here in Toronto. But I'm sure that you will be able to identify a ton of stuff that needs work. And even if you're not quite sure, even if you haven't had a good neurostructural assessment or an assessment from a physio or whatever your person is, even if you don't specifically know what your issues are, I can almost always recommend that if you live the desk life, work on the hips, work on your spine, work on the shoulders, and that should occupy at least 20 minutes of that mobility workout. Now, I know a lot of people already have enough trouble getting to the gym, and the beauty of doing a mobility or a flexibility day is that you can do this at home. All you need to pick up is a foam roller, and then, it's just body weight, some stretches, and some mobility drills. And, we've got tons on our Instagram feed that you can go check out that will give you more than enough resources. But I think the biggest thing, mindset-wise, is realizing that taking a little bit of time every week to make your mobility and your flexibility and increasing that is a workout in and of itself. And doing that is going to actually address one of probably the bigger problems you have with your health. I'm sure that your overall strength is not holding you back from a lot of things, but I can almost guarantee that your mobility and flexibility is impacting your health, whether it's stiffness in the hips or the spine or the shoulders that's actually causing you pain and causing you problems. So what I want to go through today is just a very brief overview. We did an Instagram video on this last week of how to foam roll your spine. So this foam roller, which is like PVC pipe covered with some slightly cushy material, could be a little bit softer. It's probably not ideal if you're just getting into foam rolling. I recommend something softer like we sell in our practice, which is just not styrofoam. I'm trying to come up with a better word. I guess foam. Yeah, foam is more of a foam roller. It's a little bit softer. And so there's a couple different ways to approach foam rolling your spine. Now, in terms of the why should I do it, number one, it's going to actually help with pain because it's been shown, foam rolling in the literature, to reduce the sensitivity of your pain fibers and of the nervous system in the back or wherever you're rolling it. So it's going to help with pain. It'll also help to get muscles to relax and be less tight, and it does that by a neurological reflex. It gets the nerves that go to those muscles to calm down. And it'll also improve, or has the potential to improve, mobility or strength in the back, as long as you do it correctly, and I'll show you how to do that today. So I hope with the Instagram feed, because we're in portrait mode, we get a good video, but anyone that checks it out on Facebook, we got it on landscape, so you'll see everything. So a couple different techniques I'm going to show. I'm going to show how to roll the entire spine. I'm going to show how to roll a specific spot that's a little bit sore. I'll show how to roll your rib cage, and I'll also show how to work on your mobility or your body's ability to extend backwards, which is great for posture. So what we want to start off with is you can be on the floor, you can even do it on a couch. A couch will be a little bit easier. Now I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit so everyone can see a little bit better. That's perfect. Uh-oh. Okay, got it. So we're going to start here in the low back. And so we're going to start in the low back. And you just want to put it right in the middle. And I think at first what you want to do is just practice rolling slowly from top to bottom. And what you'll notice is sometimes you have to move your feet a little bit back and forwards. Obviously, the more weight I put on it, the more it's going to get at it, the more intense it might feel, the more painful it might feel. But, you know, if I put my feet farther out, there's more weight. And if I put my feet a little bit closer, I can help support it. But you want to have just a reasonable amount of force on it, probably a 3 or 4 out of 10 in terms of discomfort. And you can just practice rolling back and forth up into the base of the neck. And you can also work on even curling the spine in as you get to the lower back, and that will get some of the tissues a little bit better. Now, you can try that technique, rolling back and forth. Now, let's say that you have a little bit of irritation through one of the sides of the rib cage. The easiest way to address that would be, rather than being straight on, is just turn a little bit, lean a little bit to one side, and then that will get that area there. You can also increase that exposure to the rib cage, and I'll show you on this side. So I turn a little bit, I'm a little bit diagonal on it. Now if I bring my arm like this to get my shoulder blade out of the way, that's where I'll really be over top of those rib heads. Especially if you have a rib joint that tends to get a little irritated, you might get some relief with this. So that's turn the body onto the rib cage to match the angle of the ribs, bring the arm over, and you can roll through there. So that is also a really effective technique. You can roll around the thorax, where the 12 ribs are, basically between here and here. Roll on the side there. So that's, again, turn the body over and then roll on that side to which you've turned. In terms of the next technique, if you find there's a particular spot in your back that's a little bit sore, rather than rolling, back and forth past it, what you can do is you can find that spot, and if it's a little bit leftward or a little bit rightward, just make sure you're right on top of it, and just stay nice and concentrated on that area. Take nice big breaths in, nice big breaths out. Signal to your nervous system you want that muscle to relax. And just kind of focus on it, and eventually you'll get a small little release. You might want to add a little bit of movement, or you can even work on bending backwards over it or forwards over it. Just stay concentrated on that area, and the big key there is to breathe nice and easy. Now, the last thing we're going to review for today, if you're looking to improve your posture, what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of extension in. So this will be both a strengthening part, strengthening because you'll be activating the muscles that are bending you backwards. It'll be a mobility part because you're really pushing that joint to its end range as it bends backwards over the foam roller, and both of those combined will help your posture. So what you want to do is, the best area to focus here if you're looking to increase your posture is the thoracic spine, or anywhere from the base of the neck to the rib cage. And this is where you want to get over a spot and work on bending backwards over the foam roller at say T12, and then you go to T11, the next vertebra up, and then you slowly work vertebra to vertebra, bending backwards over it. When you get to about T6 or midway through the spine, hands on the back of your neck, and arch back this way. Beautiful. Perfect. Now, that again, you want to go from either T1 down or T12 up. Work on each different vertebra, bending backwards over the foam roller as you move. You know, just like I did there, you hold it for a second or two. You can hold it for longer if you want to build a bit more mobility or a bit more strength. But that approach, if you do it regularly, can really help to improve your posture. Now, of course, if there is a core problem with the underlying structure of the spine, if there is a problem with the nervous system, that's where you might need a professional like myself to help you with that process. But as long as there's no core problem, there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to improve your posture yourself. But if there's a structural distortion, that's where you need professional help. So again, guys, I hope I brought some value today. I hope you took something out of this. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, send me a Facebook or an Instagram direct message. And if anybody is looking to come to our workshop on Wednesday, there's a couple tickets left. We got Freshie sponsoring the event, so there'll be some good food, and I think it should be a really, really valuable time if you are looking to improve how you move, your strength, your mobility at some point here in 2018. So hope everyone has an amazing day. I'm signing off for Lunch and Learn TV, and have fun, guys.